Hey there, folks. A buddy of mine came up to me the other day and asked, what on earth was Trump thinking when he announced on Truth Social that he was dissolving the boards of the US Army, Air Force, Navy, and Coast Guard academies? It really got me thinking. I mean, this isn't some small-time decision. It's a pretty big deal, and there's surely a lot more to it than meets the eye. So let's dig in and see if we can figure out what's going on. First off, let's talk about this Truth Social platform where Trump made this announcement. You know, after Trump left the White House, he created this social media platform. Why? Well, after the Capitol Hill riot on January 6, 2021, he got banned from major social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Suddenly, a big chunk of his communication channels with his supporters were cut off. To keep that connection alive, he decided to build his own platform, Truth Social. And it's not just any ordinary social media site. It's become Trump's main place to voice his thoughts, and it's crucial for him to interact with his backers. Now, why did Trump choose to announce such a significant decision on Truth Social? There are several reasons. For starters, it's all about controlling the information flow. On his own platform, Trump can spread and interpret information exactly the way he wants. We all know that the mainstream media's coverage of him can be a bit subjective. Sometimes they might twist or filter what he's trying to say, but on Truth Social, he can get his message across to his supporters without any interference. It's like having a direct line of communication where his words reach his fans exactly as he intended. Secondly, it's a move to strengthen his base of supporters. Most of the users on Truth Social are diehard Trump fans. When he drops an important announcement like this, it quickly unites them. It's like giving them a boost of confidence, making them feel even more strongly that they're on the same team as Trump. It's that sense of unity and shared purpose that really rallies them behind him. Another thing is, Trump has never really trusted the mainstream media. He feels they're biased against him. With Truth Social, he can bypass them completely and talk directly to the public. Whenever he thinks there's an unfair report out there, he can hit back right away and put out what he believes is the correct information. Now, let's get back to this whole business of dissolving the boards. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. There's a complex background and a lot of thought behind it. Back in 2021, the Biden administration did something that really caused a stir. They axed 18 members of the US military academy boards who were appointed by Trump in the last few months of his first term. Trump saw this as a blatant lack of respect for him. More than that, he thought it was an unjust interference in the military academies. Trump has long claimed that over the past 4 years, the US military academies have been infiltrated by what he calls woke left-wing theorists. These so-called theorists, according to him, are trying to change the long-held traditional values and educational concepts of the military academies. In Trump's view, this is like undermining the very foundation of these institutions. That's why he decided to dissolve the boards and appoint new members. His aim is to make sure that the educational direction and values of the military academies align with his own beliefs. The feud between Trump and the Biden administration over the military academy boards didn't just pop up overnight. It started back in 2021 when the Biden administration removed those 18 members. Trump has been stewing over this ever since. He believes that the people he appointed were there to ensure the military academies were moving in the right direction. But the Biden administration's actions completely derailed his plans. From Trump's perspective, the military academies are crucial for grooming the nation's military talent. The traditional values and educational ideas are not something to be tinkered with lightly. He's worried that this so-called infiltration by woke left-wing theorists will make the military academies less pure. The fear is that the future military personnel might deviate from the original path. So, by dissolving the boards, he's trying to regain control over the development direction of the military academies and steer them back to what he considers the right course. And let's not forget, this is also a powerful counterpunch to the Biden administration. When the Biden administration removed the members he appointed, Trump saw it as a challenge. Now, by dissolving the boards and appointing new ones, he's sending a clear message. He's not going to sit back and watch. He's going to stand up for his stance and the independence of the military academies. Now, let's think about the potential impact this might have on the US military education system. First of all, once the new board members are in place, we can expect some changes in the educational policies of the military academies. If the people Trump appoints share his views on traditional values and education, there could be adjustments in things like the curriculum and teaching methods. Maybe there will be a greater emphasis on cultivating traditional military qualities like discipline and patriotism. Secondly, this decision is likely to spark a lot of discussions and some unrest within the military academies and the entire military system. After all, a change of this magnitude isn't something that can be easily glossed over. Some people who are used to the current educational model might find it hard to adapt to the new policies and directions. On the other hand, those who support Trump's ideas will probably be eager to push these changes forward. This could lead to a clash of different viewpoints within the military academies. Looking at a broader scale, this incident shows how deeply domestic political battles have seeped into the military realm. Political figures are meddling with institutions like the military academy boards to achieve their political aims and ideologies. But here's the big question. Is this a good or a bad thing for the independence and professionalism of the US military? Well, it's not so straightforward. On one hand, if the new boards can truly bring the military academies back to their traditional values and produce even better military talent, then it could be a positive development. But on the flip side, if this is just a tool in the political power struggle and it throws military education into chaos, the consequences could be pretty dire. Among the American public, opinions on this matter are divided. A group of Trump supporters firmly believe that his decision is spot on. In their eyes, Trump is fighting to preserve the traditions and dignity of the US military academies. They think he's working hard to groom truly outstanding military personnel for the country's future. They have full confidence in Trump's ability to make the right calls and breathe new life into the military academies. On the other hand, there are those who are worried. They're concerned that Trump's decision will drag the military academies into a political quagmire and cause the quality of education to decline. They hope that the military academies can maintain a certain level of independence and not be overly influenced by political factors. Their wish is for these institutions to focus solely on training professional military talent. Internationally, as a major military power, the US military academy's development direction has always drawn the world's attention. Trump's decision to dissolve the boards and appoint new members might make other countries start to question the stability of US military education. They'll be pondering whether these changes in the US military academies will have an impact on America's future military strategies and its international influence. In the days to come, we can expect a series of ripple effects. Once the new board members take their positions, how will they go about their work? What direction will the educational reforms in the military academies take? And how will these reforms affect the US military strength? Also, how will the Biden administration respond to Trump's decision? Will there be more friction and conflicts between the two sides on this issue? These are all things that are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Trump's announcement on Truth Social to dissolve the boards is really a move filled with hidden meanings. Behind it, there's his need to control information, strengthen his supporter base, and strike back at the mainstream media and the Biden administration. And the decision itself touches on multiple complex aspects, including the US military education system, domestic political struggles, and international implications. This event is like a stone thrown into a calm lake, creating waves upon waves. The future is full of uncertainties, and it's something that every one of us who's interested in US politics and military development should think about deeply and keep a close watch on. Maybe from events like this, we can gain a better understanding of the essence of US politics and how it operates, and also be aware of the potential impacts these events might have on our lives. Anyway, this has given us a great opportunity to peek into the US political ecosystem. Let's all stay tuned for what happens next. What do you think about all this? Do you side with the supporters or the worried group? Share your thoughts. Maybe we can all learn something more from each other's perspectives. As we continue to follow this story, it's important to remember that the decisions made in the political and military arenas can have far-reaching consequences. The fate of the military academies, the future of the military personnel being trained, and even the standing of the United States on the global stage could all be affected. It's also interesting to note how this decision might impact the recruitment and retention of military personnel. Will potential recruits be attracted to a military academy that's going through such significant changes? Or will they be hesitant, worried about the instability and potential political influence? And for those already in the military, how will they adapt to the new educational policies and the changes in the academy environment? Another aspect to consider is the role of the media in all of this. While Trump has been critical of the mainstream media, they still play a crucial role in shaping public opinion. How will they cover the changes in the military academies? Will they report objectively, or will there be a bias one way or the other? And how will the public react to the media's coverage? In addition, the relationship between the military academies and other educational institutions in the United States could also be affected. Will there be a shift in the way they collaborate or compete? Will the changes in the military academies inspire other institutions to reevaluate their own educational models and values? And let's not forget about the impact on the families of military personnel. They often have a lot at stake when it comes to the well-being and development of the military academies. How will they feel about the changes? Will they support their loved ones in the face of these new developments? Or will they have concerns about the future? As we look ahead, it's clear that this decision by Trump is just the beginning of a long and complex chain of events. The coming months and years will reveal the true extent of its impact on the U.S. military education system, the domestic political landscape, and the international standing of the United States. So let's keep our eyes peeled and our minds open. There's a lot more to come, and it's going to be a fascinating journey to watch. Whether you're a political enthusiast, a military observer, or just an ordinary citizen interested in how these things affect our lives, this is an event that's definitely worth following closely. What other aspects of this event do you think are important? Let's keep the conversation going and see if we can piece together a more complete picture of what's really going on. After all, the more perspectives we consider, the better understanding we'll have of this complex and significant decision. In the meantime, we can only wait and see how the new board members will carry out their duties, how the military academies will adapt to the changes, and what kind of impact all of this will have on the future of the United States military and beyond. Stay tuned, folks. There's bound to be more exciting developments in the days to come.